I find
I
it
saw
really, really funny to think every time like a man goes out and calls himself an alpha to
Right.
think about Omegaverse.
Maybe that
Because
is the
I'm just,
you
true
know
yes,
what?
you
You
maybe
know
are.
that is
what?
the true nature of the alpha bro like mindset. Maybe that
That's
maybe it
it.
is Omegaverse IRL. Hi everyone, welcome to LoveCast, the BL podcast. I am your host Alexa, and I have my fellow hosts Pixie and Kayla with me today.
Hey.
Hello.
So we're here. It's been a while since we've recorded a regular episode. It's been a while since we've done a little bit of a fandom check-in. So we figured this would be a good time to kind of do one of our catching up with the BL Fandom episodes, kind of catch up on some of the recent happenings, a lot of the tea, a lot of the shows and happenings around shows that people are talking about. I feel like people always really like these episodes, and they're a fun kind of way to just chat, catch up on things. We've all brought a couple of things that we wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we're gonna catch up on some recent happenings within like the last month-ish, I would say. And just kind of chat about what's been going on, what we think
Mm-hmm.
about the situations, and go from there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone want to start off with one of their topics?
Well,
I'm
do we
fine
want to
either way.
start with like the more serious stuff or do we want to start with the fun stuff?
I don't know. That's always a good question. I
Do
feel
we
like we
want
tend
to
to start.
end on happy or do we want to
Okay,
end on bad?
here's the question because I feel like these we tend to get like we tend to be very serious and then like try and throw in a happy thing at the end. How many
Yeah.
people brought silly or happy topics to talk about? I have one. That's I would say
I
is
I
more
What?
mean,
positive.
well, mine aren't like well, they're a little bit silly, but also a little bit serious. But the one thing is kind of sad.
So you're all over the place.
Well, that doesn't
Like
help us.
always, it represents me as a person.
All
Hmm.
right. Well, as we can always like bookend, like start positive, do some of the more serious stuff, and then end on a positive if we have at least two like silly slash positive ones.
Mhm.
All
I
right.
mean, I can start.
Okay. Go
Go
for it,
for it.
Kayla.
Okay, so this is, I feel, kind of a self-indulgent in a very indirect way news story. It's not really a news story, but Kim Junso from Secret Relationships, which we've talked about that show. We have a review on it. I really loved it. He is currently on Boys Planet 2, which is that K-pop survival show where they make a K-pop group, super popular. I've never actually watched it myself, but
Me either.
people are obsessed with it.
That's the one that
So
Zero Base One came from, right?
yeah,
Question
I
mark?
I believe so. We need
Question
the
mark?
experts to tap in
Right.
because they all like mesh together for me. There's so many
Yeah.
survival shows in Korea. But anyway, Junso, he played down in the Korean BL Secret Relationship. And mind you, he is definitely not the first quote BL actor who has been on a survival show. I think there's been a handful
Mm.
of them so far. And honestly, a lot of them started off as K-pop idols, so I don't even know if you would technically call them BL actors. They've just kind of acted in maybe one or two
the,
BLs.
the
Yeah.
idol to BL actor back to idol pipeline.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, he's on this show right now. And one of the judges this season is the famous choreographer Canny. She's super talented. She's choreographed for Beyonce, just to name
Mhm.
like a few, one person. But yeah, she's pretty well known in the dance field. And basically, Jinso walks up to do his little audition, and she immediately recognizes him from Secret Relationships. And she straight up asks him if he starred in a BL series. And he seems a little like taken aback, like he was not expecting anyone to know him from that. But he was like, yeah, actually, I was in a BL series.
Mm-hmm.
And then Kenny is like freaking out about it because I guess she loved the show so much. She's like gushing about it. She's like, your acting was so good. The series was so good. And he ends up acting out a scene from the show for her, which is the one where Daeun is begging, what's his name? He's begging Jaemin not to date Soohyun, which is a very emotional scene, but he like gets into character. He gets all teary-eyed and he like acts out this scene on the spot. And it's just like it's a really funny moment. It's a really funny like BL crossover type thing. But here's the thing. I might be the only one that like cares about this little detail, but Canny's best friend happens to be Key from Shiny. So when I saw that clip from Boys Planet, I was so gagged, and it had me wondering to myself, like, has my alt bias from my alt group seen the Korean BL secret relationships? Because anytime they get together, they watch dramas. So I was like, there's a high possibility.
The possibility is up there.
Right, that Key from Shiny has seen secret relationships, and now I want to know if he has, what are his thoughts on it? And then that just got me thinking about like the K-pop BL crossovers. Like we've talked about them, I think, in a whole episode in the past. And it reminded me about how like Z and Minho had like an UNC meetup in Rome last year.
Not Z and
And
Minho.
I was just like going through a pipeline where I was like, wow, it's just funny. Like I love when silly little clips like that go viral and everyone's making jokes about it, and it like spans across fandom, so everyone is in on the jokes, and it's just like goofy and harmless. Like it's just so fun. I love stuff like that. That's like the best kind of internet humor, I feel like, that just brings all these random fandoms together.
Yeah, no, I saw the clip too. I it came across my timeline, and I just like, I think Canny, like her energy, like I feel like that's one of the things she often goes viral for because like she's so energetic, and then like her just like screaming out in Korean, like I saw you, like I watched it, like it's just so cute. And it's just it's just like a little wholesome moment, and I think it really does like people have pointed out, and I think this happened with Kim Ji-woong as well, who was like roommates of Poondak, who is in Zero Base One now. Like when he was on Boys Planet, it was brought up that he was in a BL or had acted in BL. And I think like people are just really excited when actors like move on from their BL, like go to a reality program or whatever, and like seem proud or excited about the fact and like acknowledge the fact that they were in a BL, because there are actors that have just like completely wiped their BL careers like once they start getting those opportunities. So I think particularly with like the Korean BL actors, like when they go on these programs and are like, oh yeah, I was in a BL, or like are excited to talk about it, like the fandom of those shows and of the actors like get really excited too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a win for Korean BL in general to be like mentioned on a show like that. That will probably help in the long run of getting sponsors for these shows, because that's the biggest problem with Korean BLs, that they're not being made because people, it's not because people don't want to make them, it's because there's like it's really hard for them to get sponsors. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the comments were so funny. Everyone was like, vote for the boy kisser. Everyone vote for the boy kisser.
And you know what? It'll probably help. It'll probably help. I'm not gonna lie.
I
To some degree.
Yeah, I don't know what his ranking is now, but at one point he was at 8, which I was like, that's not bad. That's not bad. So I don't actually know what his like singing and dancing abilities are like, but people were really loving that a quote BL actor was on Boys Planet.
I love that there's probably like a bunch of K-pop shippers out there who don't realize that they're actually BL fans.
Right.
The crossover is like a lot. The lines are a lot closer than people think. I think often. So,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah. That was my silly little news that we can start off with.
Starting off on a positive.
I can do mine, one of mine, because I don't really have a lot of information. I
Hmm.
just heard about it. It came up on my Instagram, I think, that Top Tap and Sunny aren't going to continue being a couple.
Yeah.
And Top Tap said this in a live. And
Hmm.
I'm just sitting, the immediate reaction was, what is happening with Top Tap? Because this is not the first time that he's like had someone he's coupled with that just like escapes. And
Yeah.
I'm just like, I think like Top Tap is one of my favorite actors. I love his energy and I love his dancing and he's just like a sunshine. But I kind of got into a whole like, is it Top Tap that's the problem? And I don't want to think that, but this is weird. Why is this happening?
I
See,
don't know.
my reaction was kind of the opposite. Like whenever I saw that, first of all, I was shocked because me and Alexa just saw them.
Yeah, right?
but
Talked to them a week ago, literally.
but yeah, I honestly my first thought was maybe Top Tap is like really invested in trying to get a BL ship, but the people
Mm,
he's trying to be a pairing with aren't as
mm,
invested in him
I
because
mm.
it
think
isn't
so.
the first time that people have jumped ship on him.
Yeah.
That's kind of where my brain goes too. Funnily enough, like I clicked on the TikTok live where Top Tap like talked about it, but I was at work, so I was only there for a second. I didn't actually catch him saying that. But
Mm,
when I was watching like one of the edits of it, he was saying like, "Oh, like Sunny wants to go on his own path now." So
mm,
I think Sunny obviously came from Me Mind Y and a previous BL pairing, and so I think
mm,
maybe like just being assumptive, like he, being in another BL ship and like starting to ramp up like those like BL activities, maybe he realized actually like I
he's
don't really want to do this again type
not,
situation.
yeah.
My brain was
Maybe,
like maybe like traveling with someone like puts into perspective like it's a
yeah.
lot like to travel with someone who is
Yeah.
like technically a business partner, also a
Mm,
friend. Like it was a very hectic like week of time. So like maybe that
yeah.
put in perspective like, hey, maybe this isn't the path that Sunny wants to take. But
Yeah. And I
it
mean,
was, yeah,
you need to be on the same page as well when you're doing couples like that because like
100%.
the investment to the chemistry,
Mm-hmm.
because we can say it's natural all we want, but they work hard for
Mm-hmm.
the chemistry and usually they like have to be on the same page because or else it will mentally be such a battle for one of them or both.
Yeah.
So I can imagine like Top Tap just hasn't found someone that can match his expectations
Mm-hmm.
for and his ambitions. That sounds really like a strict word, but like we all have ambitions,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and there's nothing wrong with that. Like Powell hustled, and look look for that. With
Mm-hmm.
the hustle is great. So
Yeah.
yeah, no, I really hope Top Tap can find like a permanent partner because it seems like that's what he wants.
Mm-hmm.
Because or else he would be just jumping around doing shows, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's interesting because a couple of days before he actually said something, I noticed that he posted a story on Instagram and he was like, if anyone's interested in acting in a BL, like
Oh, I
between these
saw that.
ages, like, and I like,
Mm,
it like piqued something in my mind, but like I didn't think too much of it. And then like I went
yeah.
back a couple days later and I noticed that all of like Sunny and Top Tap's like couple photo shoots were off of their Instagram pages. And then
Mm,
like a couple days later, like he officially said it. So I was like, it was literally like just a couple days after coming back
yeah.
from New York. So I think maybe
Dude,
that really
that
just put things
trip,
in perspective.
yeah,
But
probably just put everything into like having to be around one a person like almost like every day, all the time. And if you don't like see eye to eye completely, and it doesn't need to be anyone's fault.
Right.
Like you can be different people. That's fine. But yeah, it's sad. I want to see more Top Tap, and this means that like he needs to find another partner.
Like I'm manifesting it for him.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, that's one of those people I really want to see. Who was the other person? Dome, was it, that we talked about recently, who keeps ending up in like a
Oh,
similar
poor
situation
Dome.
with panic projects that
Yeah.
just don't pan out. So I would really like Top Tap, especially though, like it's Top Tap. Like I
It's Top
really like we're
He's a
rooting for
veteran.
him. Yeah.
Mhm.
He's truly an OG like of the scene.
Yeah.
So it seems
And
like
he's
it's
been
something he really wants to
so
do.
amazing in everything he's done.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Well, I hope for the best for both of them. Whatever Sonny's path is, I hope he succeeds on it. And
Yeah.
hopefully, Top Tap will find the partner he is looking for. And we'll
Yeah.
see them in an awesome project in the near future. So,
Hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah.
There, I don't want to
I
say
mean,
LoveCast is cursed, but we do have a
no,
streak
no,
of like.
no. I was going to say the opposite. Listen. So, Powell was on our podcast. He got through. Han was on our podcast.
This is
He
true.
got reset. Kurth was on our podcast. He got like all the cutie pie and all those kin portion afterwards. We're good luck, okay?
We're just getting people onto the path that they should be on.
Yes.
Okay. For my gossipy little piece of news that I brought. This one's a little bit older. I think it happened at the beginning of July. So some people might not know about this, but I thought it was interesting. So the actors from Unknown, the Taiwanese BL, Kurt and Chris, I almost said Quiz, and I was like, that's not right. Kurt and Chris. So allegedly, they, after the series ended, it seems like a lot of the fans knew that like they were not getting along after the series ended. Like it seemed like there was, it could have been just like a natural thing, like they didn't really stay close afterwards. But there was a lot of like beef between the fandoms of both actors, like on like Taiwanese social media, like I think like Weibo and stuff like that. Um, and eventually, like the netizens discovered this social media account that was like really going out of its way to praise Kurt, who was the
Mm.
actor who played Shi Wan, and at the same time kind of hating on Chris, who played Wei Xian. And there was a Taiwanese media company that ended up reporting that the account was a secret account run by Kurt. A lot of the comments on the account were like talking about like why would producers cast this person, talking about Chris, ragging on his looks, and then like going out of their way to say like Kurt was the one who was deserving of praises, like he was the one who was sincere, and everything. All of these are translations coming from like, I'm pretty sure the social media account was Weibo, but I'm not 100% sure. But translated from Chinese, obviously Mandarin. And then Chris's brother left a comment on one of the threads talking about, like, there's no way this can be real. There's no way this person is that bad, right? And then one of the
Mm.
producers of Unknown also commented, and he said, or they said, if you're sick, go see a doctor. Stop creating these fake accounts. And so, like,
Huh.
the comments from Chris's brother and the Unknown producer, like, reinforced people believing that Kurt was the one who was making this account and making these comments. And the account eventually got deleted. But then shortly after that, like I think a couple of days, maybe a week later, Kurt went live and he was basically like, the live was an hour and a half long. And there was a TikTok account that translates a lot of like Taiwanese BL content that basically summarized it. And he was basically just going on like, if I have a problem with someone, I'm going to be direct about it. Like, I wouldn't go out of my way to make a fake account. If I had a problem with Chris, like I would make it known to him. Like you would not see me like hiding behind social media to address that issue. He was like, I don't care what the antis think. Like if people think I'm fake, so be it. He really just wants to be someone that he and people who support him can look up to. Um, and I don't really know that there's been any resolution since then. I mean, he seemed pretty like adamantly denying that he made these accounts, but like one of the producers of the show, like subtweeting about it, like it
Yeah.
kind of makes you think like I don't know like what proof they were looking at, what made them really believe it was him, like if there was more drama that went on behind the scenes that people involved in the show with knew about that would make them think it was him. But yeah, he went on live for like an hour and a half just like trying to reinforce the idea that like he would not do something like that. They've since like unfollowed each other on social media, Chris and Kurt, and I haven't seen any updates since then. So I don't
Mm-hmm.
know if there was ever a real resolution, but yeah, I just thought that
Yeah.
was some interesting, a little bit of drama in the Taiwanese BL community. And I know like they were pretty popular ship for a while. Like they had a lot of like fan meetings and stuff after the show.
Mm,
So
they did. I had to Google how old Kurt is for him because I was thinking like, okay, if he's like really young, then that might explain someone acting like that. But dude, he's 27. There
yeah.
is no excuse. Like
Yep.
literally no, like grown ass man. No. What?
Yeah. So the account I got this from is someone who posts a lot of like Taiwanese BL content on TikTok. Abby loves love. So if you wanted to see like the full translations and stuff of the comments and the social media stuff, they have that on their account. But I remember seeing that in passing and being like, okay, I have to go back and get this full tea because like we really liked Unknown. It's another one we did a review of on our
Yeah.
channel.
I
Um,
loved.
yeah, it was like your favorite BL of what was that last year or the year before? Can't remember.
When did it come out?
I don't remember. I know we reviewed it last year.
2024. Yeah. So it was for last year. It was my
One of your
top.
favorites, yeah. So yeah, just it's one of those things like you really never know what's going on behind the scenes. But I mean, whatever happens, the
Wow.
Can
account's gone, so at least like he's no longer posting
dude, can
anonymously, at least not from
these
that account.
like actors and directors and everyone just act like normal ass people and stop disappointing me because they're like ruining my like top shows. Like
For real.
the Japanese show
Oof, yeah.
Youth. Oh
That one
god.
Yeah,
was
our
rough.
youth.
Yeah, and Gaia Sal Película. Dude,
Hmm.
stop it. Be normal.
Yeah. There's
This
been a
is a
lot of
PSA.
be normal. PSA, be normal, please. There's been a lot of bad stuff coming to light about people recently, I feel like. Um which sucks, but
Like before, it was just like the actors were usually homophobic or something. That was the only thing we were dealing with.
which
Now,
is still very bad. Which is still
yes,
very bad.
yes, it was still bad, but it was expected for the time. But it was bad. It's not okay to be a homophobe, okay?
Oh my god.
But but these days it's like all kind of trash. Like when you got past the homophobia, they're doing all kinds of crazy shit.
Yeah.
Right. It's like there are actual victims of crimes now,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah.
wild. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I did not hear anything about this. I don't
Yeah.
know if like I'm just not tuned in to the Taiwanese BL scene, but I haven't seen anyone talk about it, and I'm just like, I'm so shocked. Like, is the general consensus that it really was the actor? Is that what most people believe?
It
That it
seems
actually
so.
is him?
It seems that like that is where people are generally coming from, even though he like was pretty adamant that it was not him. I think people feel like
That's crazy.
people from the show speaking up and like Chris's brother speaking up was like pretty
Yeah.
like condemning in that case. Again, like those comments never mentioned his name, but like the wording really implies that like, hey, this is a person we know who is doing this stuff and like creating this accounts talking about Chris. So Yeah, I don't know. It's like it seems very much like it came and went. Like I feel like I'm not super connected to the Taiwanese BL fandom either. So I don't know if it's been talked about a lot more. But I did
Mm.
not really see a lot of buzz about it. Like if I hadn't seen like that TikTok account, I don't know if it ever would have come across my radar, but I don't know. It's been a couple of weeks since there's been any updates, so I'm not sure if it's been quiet on that front ever since, but
Dude, even the Google AI knows about the fallout. That is so funny.
AI is being messy.
Oh my god. It literally like you just had to search Kurt Huang relationships and it
oh,
says
it came up.
Kurt Huang's relationships have been the subject of online discussion, particularly concerning his friendship and subsequent fallout with Chris
Mm.
Chu,
Mm.
where their on-screen chemistry was mirrored by fan speculation about a real-life connection. The relationship between the two actors reportedly deteriorated into a scandal involving betrayal and fan conflict, leading to a period
So
of
dramatic.
silence.
Calm down,
Yeah, it
Google
was
AI.
super.
Oh Lord.
But I will say there is a YouTube episode or something like YouTube video called "The Fall of Chris Chu and Kurt Huang."
Mm.
Interesting. Wow.
Clickbait.
Probably.
But yeah,
Mhm.
that's the tea. I don't know where they are now, but hopefully no
Oh
more fake
wow.
accounts are out there.
Mm-mm. Well, I guess I can go into my next one.
Mhm.
This one is pretty aggravating to me, pretty upsetting. Um, and it's the fact that the actors from the BL series Revenge Love have been like brutally, I would seriously use that word, brutally harassed by Sasang
Mm.
fans ever since the show started airing. I'm really gonna butcher these names because I've never heard anyone say them. I've never even like watched the show. But yeah, the two actors from the BL series, they've been dealing with like really crazy obsessive fans. And
Mhm.
honestly, like it's been very scary. So I'm just going to go through like a bunch of different incidents that have happened. I'm
Mhm.
probably missing some because there have just been so many, but these are like the top ones that I could find.
Mhm.
So the actor Shuning, I think that's how you pronounce his name. He was approached by a Sasang fan when he was on an airplane, and the fan started screaming at him at the top of his lungs. And there's videos for all of this. You can like go on TikTok and find the videos because like people on the plane were recording like what the hell's going
Oh.
on. But I guess Shunin, he has like a controversial dating past. So that's where this incident stemmed from. Like he has an ex-girlfriend. He said that he broke up with her. But this fan was basically yelling at him about breaking up with this rumored girlfriend because I guess the fan doesn't believe that they're actually broken up. And then the fan was accusing him of like having a child with this girlfriend and was like, "Is the kid yours? Is the kid yours?" And was just like yelling at the top of her lungs about this. And
What the fuck?
yeah, it was wild. And like for his own safety, they had to move his seat to try to get him away from like this fan who would not sit down, would not go away. People were like recording, shooting in the aisle, just like crying while the flight attendants are trying to like hold back this fan. And it was just, I think that was one of the big incidents that kind of sparked people being like, okay, there's something not okay going on with these Sasang fans of
Mhm.
these actors, this show, whatever. And then there was another incident. I'm not sure if it was the same flight or if it was a different flight because a lot of this stuff happens like in the airport and like on flights and
Mhm.
situations like that. But there was another incident where the fans started charging at the flight attendants when the plane was trying to land to try to get into business class and like see the actors. So like there's a video of these flight attendants like trying to hold back fans from getting into business class, and the fans are just like pushing them and they're like, you guys have to sit down, like we're trying to land the plane, this is like not safe for anyone, this is a safety hazard, so on and so forth. And yeah, that clip actually made it onto a couple news stations, like news publications, because they were just like, this is crazy that like these flight attendants are having to hold back these fans from trying to get to these actors on an airplane of all places, obviously like disrupting the other passengers as well. So that was another big incident.
The poor
It
flight
happened.
attendants do not get paid enough for that shit.
Yeah, that's for
Definitely
sure.
not. And yeah, I mean, of course, they're flight attendants, so they're trained to be like as polite as possible. So they're trying to like diffuse the situation in the kindest way, but still be firm. But it's just like not working. Like it's not getting through to the fans. Unfortunately, that was not the only incident. And another incident, fans bombarded Shuning at the airport, and the security guards literally like had their arms wrapped around him and were trying to like lead him out of the airport, and it looked like he was like starting to have a panic attack because there were like so many people like pushing at him and trying to get at him, and it was just really scary. It seems like that happens to them a lot when they're in the airport, is the fans like push and charge at them, and the security is like trying to pull them through the crowd. And then weirdly enough, there was another plane outburst with the other actor, Ziyu, where a Sasang fan again approached him in the airplane and started screaming at him.
Jesus Christ.
So the fact that it didn't just happen once, it happened twice with both of them. But I wasn't able to like find translations of what the fan was saying. So I don't know what they were saying, but you know, they were asked to return to their seat because they're disturbing the passengers. They refused, and ZU ended up like taking the blanket and like covering himself with it to try to create some kind of like distance or shield between him and this random fan who would not sit down. And then there's also, again, I don't know if this is the same day or a different day, but there's a video of him running, like literally sprinting through the airport with fans chasing him.
Yeah.
And they follow him to his van, and the security guard literally has to like throw him into the van to try to get him away from the fans. The fans are trying to get in his vehicle. And it's just, yeah. And then there was, it's not even over yet. There was another incident where that same actor, he actually confronted one of the Sasang fans because they were just like following him on the street. And he chased them down and took a picture of their license plate and reported them to the police.
Good for him.
So like it's been really bad. It's been a really bad time for these two actors, and like I said, there's probably more incidents that I even missed because it seems like this is something that is or was happening to them regularly, to the point where people assume that Revenge Love, because they went on a short hiatus, people kind of assume that they were trying to get attention off the series and in turn the actors, which is very, very ironic because usually you would want attention on the series, but it's like they're trying to get heat off of them, so maybe the fans calm down.
For safety
I don't know if
reasons.
it ever, I don't know if it ever worked.
Yeah.
I kind of doubt it, but yeah,
I have
they,
like we see
crazy.
this happen too much. Like it happens a lot and it shouldn't be happening. But I think one of the issues here is that the Sastang fans there are no consequences for them. At least not
None.
that are like serious enough that they will quit doing what they're doing. I don't understand why there can't be like proper consequences to their actions. Like throw them in jail or something. See what happens.
I don't know, especially because I feel like in Asia, like things like defamation and like I guess harming like celebrities is a lot more like the law enforces it a lot more
Mm-hmm.
than say here. Like I don't know. But yeah, essentially we were just saying like how are there never any repercussions
Mm-hmm.
for these fans who go to this degree? Like even like I mean, the disruptions on the airplane, that has
Mm-hmm.
to be unlawful in some way.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah.
is anyone going after them? Is anyone pressing
Mm-hmm.
charges even in that respect? I
Yeah.
don't know because it seems like they never have any repercussions for these
Yeah.
actions. And so they keep doing it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I will say it is really hard to get rid of stalkers, like in any country.
Yeah.
My mom had a stalker. It was the we had such a hard time getting like a restraining order for her, and he was like threatening her on paper, and the
Oh,
police
that's
still
crazy.
wouldn't take it seriously. And it's like any country, it's so hard to do something about stalkers. And yeah.
I think this being like a Chinese series also puts it in an interesting element because
Hmm.
even though like it's on air because like it was filmed not in mainland China, a lot of the times like the productions of these shows are asking like to keep things about the show on the down low. So I
Hmm.
think like
Mm.
the actors being mobbed in public places is probably not like on another level aside from the basic point of like you should not be mobbing anyone in public for any reason.
Hmm.
But I do think like that adds another layer to it because like the more attention that's on the show, like there are chances of it getting pulled completely and stuff like that. So there is definitely like another layer there with this being like
Yeah.
a Chinese series that is filmed not in mainland China and like produced under other production companies, but like
Hmm.
featuring like obviously Chinese actors and things like that. So yeah, it's just a
Yeah,
wild
that's a good point.
situation.
Yes. Okay, talking about Chinese dramas. We finally got Omegaverse show that is actually Omegaverse. Like it's not like Fifth Bay
So I've
where
heard.
they kind of did it. They've gone all out from what I've heard. Like I haven't watched it yet, but I've heard a lot about it. People are talking. And I'm kind of interested. Um, be- a lot because it is Omegaverse. I want to know how they like show it because I
Mm,
know there's been a lot of discourse like earlier, like 2 years ago or something. There was a discussion in Thai media sphere about Omegaverse in shows, mainly the thing about showing mpreg, which is
mm.
tied to Omegaverse. So there, people have thoughts about it, but I think it's funny that we're getting it from China, but I'm not
Right.
surprised. It's funny, but I'm not surprised. And from what I've heard, like there's been really good reviews. And I saw today that Gaga Ulala put out like a learn about Omegaverse spreadsheet.
Did they really? I need that honestly.
That doesn't surprise me that it comes from Gaga Uala,
Yeah,
to be
right.
honest.
I'm just like, you go, girl. So they have a cheat sheet on their social media if anyone needs it. But I
Noted.
love
Yeah.
this. I love this.
I think fandom is like, I don't know if like coming around to is the right word, but I feel like, at least on the BL side of things, like
Mm-hmm.
being more in the BL fandom, I feel like people
Mm-hmm.
are like ready for an Omegaverse series. Like, I feel like people are excited about this show. And
Mm-hmm.
obviously, like, I think when it comes to Pit Babe, there was like some pushback about it, but I think a
Yeah,
lot of people were like, if they're gonna do it, I want to see them like actually go there,
actually
was a lot of
doing
the
it. Yeah.
consensus. So I think like people are excited to see a show like
Mm,
actually like
yeah.
doing
I
Omegaverse.
I think people just, if you're against Omegaverse being on a TV screen, I just need you to think that it's not that serious. Omegaverse is fantasy, it's fiction, it's not that serious. We all know that alpha and betas and omegas don't exist in real life.
Or so we believe.
Oh.
And I
I
find it
saw
really, really funny to think every time like a man goes out and calls himself an alpha to
Right.
think about Omegaverse.
Maybe that
Because
is the
I'm just,
you know
true
yes,
what?
you
You
maybe
know
are.
that is
what?
the true nature of the alpha bro like mindset. Maybe that
That's
maybe it
it.
is Omegaverse IRL.
Oh my
if,
god,
if
yeah.
someone ever tells me they're an alpha, I'm just going to be like, oh, I didn't know you liked Omegaverse too.
That's so
They start
good.
sharing their favorite Omegaverse fic recs with you.
Oh,
Whoa, plot twist. Yeah, I think the people yearn for Omegaverse.
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I've been seeing a lot more like Omegaverse, I guess, content of people just like talking about it on
Mhm.
TikTok. And I feel like previously I never did, which is why I
Hmm.
didn't really know anything about it and still kind of
Yeah.
don't. But people really crave it, I feel
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And like I saw this
I
tweet that was so funny where it was like someone was asking what's the appeal of Omegaverse, and then
mhm.
someone quote tweeted it and was like, it's the possibilities.
Yeah, right. It is. But also, I would say that I don't I think a lot of people that were didn't understand Omegaverse was because they were looking at it as it's based off of wolf behavior, which
That's
not
what
really,
I
but
thought initially.
and you kind of get like a furry thing, but it's not. It's really not.
That's
So I think
literally what I thought it was before
right,
a while ago. This was seriously a while ago whenever Heather actually explained it. I was like,
yeah,
"Oh," because I
yeah,
genuinely thought that it was a furry thing
yeah,
and I
right.
love the furries, but I was like, "I don't know if I understand this."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, I think that's where like the disconnect was happening, and then a lot more people actually read it or watched, read the mangas or read the books or whatever, and they understood that okay, it's not that. But yeah,
Yeah.
I'm here for all the Omegaverse love. I we need a megaverse now. We've evolved into a space which allows a megaverse. Okay.
Omegaverse rights, I guess.
Mm-hmm. 100%. I can mention that one of the reasons why I came over it was because someone mentioned that WeTV dropped the show. It's on the
Oh.
Gaga Lala and Vicky and everything, but WeTV dropped it. After they aired it a couple of episodes, like 5 episodes, and then dropped it, which is
Hmm.
strange.
So did they get backlash?
People aren't happy from what I've seen, but I don't think it's like the I mean, I from what I saw, people were more panicking that they couldn't watch it anywhere else.
I wanted to say, while you guys were because I could you couldn't hear me, but I was still
Mhm.
there when you were talking about WeTV.
Mhm.
I think it's because WeTV is a Chinese like
Mm.
media company.
Mhm.
Oh.
So that is my thought as to why they
Yeah.
probably ended up dropping it.
Yeah.
Um, but like at least it's still on like other platforms, so people are still getting it in some form.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and people have been recommending it, so I am definitely gonna watch it. They're on like episode 5 right now.
I was intrigued, but I am like perpetually 5 episodes behind on the shows that I'm already watching,
Oh,
so
dude,
we'll
same.
have to see. We'll have to see if it
Yeah.
makes it into the rotation. But
I'm
yeah, I'm
intrigued.
glad it's happening. I'm glad people are
Mhm.
loving it, you know?
Open the doors.
Okay. I just had what Kayla, did you have another one? I have one more. I couldn't remember if that was okay.
No.
My last one is very, very brief, and it's diving in. We're dipping our toes into GL for this final segment. But literally earlier today, there was a Thai GL actress that came out as a lesbian.
Ooh.
I saw that.
Yes, so she is going to be starring in an upcoming Channel 3 GL called Play Park. And she was on a Thai talk show today with her mom. I tried to like find the English title of the show, but it just translated to Spicy Talk Show, and I don't know if that's actually the title. But like basically she was on this talk show with her mom, and they were talking about how like she's never dated anyone before. And it was basically like, like you've never dated anyone, but like you're also like not into guys at all, right? And she was like, yeah, she was talking about how because she'd never dated anyone, she did not realize that like she wasn't attracted to men until like the directors of the show she worked with pointed out how like when she acted with men, she was like always super stiff and like just like could not really get into like those like romantic moments, but like they noticed like, and she noticed like when she acted with women, like she was
Yeah.
really able to connect more with like those really like heart fluttering like romantic like kind of connections that you were supposed to feel with like your scene partners and stuff like that. So like the director's pointing out to her that like she does not essentially hates act like does not have chemistry with men, was kind of like what caused her to be introspective and realize that she's only into women. And it was really cute because like her mom was there and talking about how supportive she was, and she was Yada was even like, oh, my mom knows my ideal type and stuff like that. So it's
Cute.
just like a really cute little segment. A lot of people were talking about it. Like I saw a lot of like Thai translation accounts and fan accounts like talking about how exciting it was, and it's always exciting to have more sapphics like in the industry, and she is going to be in an upcoming GL. So I just thought that was an exciting note to end on. So yay for Yada, and I'm excited. I did not know anything about the GL Play Park, but I'm gonna go watch the pilot trailer, and I will probably try and tune in to as much as my ability to watch things will let me.
Yeah.
So yeah, just a little
Real.
I
good
love that.
tidbit. Yeah, we
Me
love
too.
lesbians.
With supportive parents.
Yeah, yeah. No, we love a supportive parent. We love a supportive mom. It's really cute. So,
Yes.
but yeah, ending it on a happy note, like we said we would do.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that's all for our catching up with the BL fandom. If hopefully I'm able to edit this in a way that you can't tell how many bad technical difficulties I was having today. But if you notice some points here or there where my camera is not working, I think my camera is dying on me officially. So it decided to do that today during this recording. So hopefully it's not too noticeable, but please excuse the technical difficulties if there is any. But yeah, let us know if you knew about some of these topics we talked about. There were some things we hadn't heard about before, looking them up for this episode. And share some other BL tidbits that you think the fandom has been talking about a lot recently, what's been on the people's minds. We always love to know what's going on. And yeah, I guess that's it for this episode of Catching Up with the BL Fandom. I think it's good to kind of do these incrementally. And if you guys enjoy these episodes and want to keep seeing more of them, have them continue to be kind of like a routine episode that we do, definitely let us know that as well. You can find all of our socials down in the description, as well as our Patreon. This month, Patreon exclusive, Kayla and I will be talking about going to New York for the Heart Killers fan meet, as well as the Timeless Thai Taste event. So we'll have that up. We have some press conference content from Timeless Thai Taste going up, as well as our routine like reviews. Our most recent one was Paradise of Thorns, and we had a lot of thoughts about that as well. So if you're interested in that kind of exclusive content, you can find our Patreon link down below. But otherwise, that is all for this week's episode, and we will see you guys in the next one.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Are you okay?
Hello?
Hello? No, just things started popping up on my computer, and I don't know what it was, but it was just
Oh.
like... It was sort of like a program popping up, but there was nothing on it.
Oh. Huh.
It's like my computer is ghosting. Like there's a ghost on my computer or something.
Okay. I think it's fixed now.
Yeah, you seem to be fine now. Okay. Okay, are we ready? Take 2.
Hopefully.
2 minutes in.